We have another core and cover strength guide that has been released, this time by 900 Global Bowling. Huge shout out to 900 Global Bowling. We actually found this on Chad McLean's Instagram page. So unfortunately, they didn't post it to an official channel, but we do finally have a strength guide. This is by far the most basic one from Storm Products. We had a lot of things on the Storm and the RotoGrip ones. 900 Globals is very, very basic. They have this nice like wood background, and then they're like 20 cores and covers in total that they have. Very, very little, but let's start digging right into it. I will be posting this page along with many, many others over on our YouTube membership. So I'd really recommend you guys join the membership program. You get ad-free viewing, you get cool emotes, and then you also can have links to all of our different bowling ball guides so that you can make the most informed decisions possible when buying bowling balls. But let's get right into it. So on the left side, we have the core strength guide. On the right, we have the cover strength guide. They do not differentiate between solids, pearls, and hybrids. RotoGrip did. 900 Global does not. However, what 900 Global does, which is kind of interesting, as you can see on here, we have AI cores and non-AI cores. So they actually rank all of their AI and non-AI cores against each other because things like this disturbance core, it has an AI portion, harsh reality pearl. It also has a non-AI portion, reality check, altered reality. Very, very good thing to know. Shows that AI cores are slightly stronger than non-AI cores. But let's get right into it. On this chart, what we have is every single 900 Global Ball in production right now. There's very, very few of them. There's only 5. And then we also included 2 extras. We have the Exponent and we have the OG 900 Global Zen. I guess we did also include the Eternity Pi, which is not on the website anymore. Little bit surprising. It might have been discontinued, but let's move on from that. I'll have to check some places to see if it fully is discontinued. Top of the list, Disturbed AI Core. That is in the Harsh Reality series. We knew this. This is the strongest core on the market, was the strongest core on the market for Storm products. That and the Gem were fighting side by side to see who was stronger. This one was insanely strong. The Harsh Reality Pearl is still absurdly strong, but does have a Pearl cover stock, which we'll get into in just a second. Going down the list, we have the Ellipse AI, which is on the Origin, actually showing up in the number 2 slot. This was a little surprising. I know the Origin is very strong. I didn't think it was the core. I thought the cover was that strong. But turns out the core is the strongest part of this bowling ball. The core is stronger than the cover. Very, very interesting. That makes that ball so unique. It's such a unicorn bowling ball. But going down the list, we have the Eternity core coming in next. These are all of the asymmetrical cores coming in from, oops, no, that's the RotoGrip. There we go. We have the asymmetrical cores coming up next as the strongest ones on the core guide. It makes sense. Asymmetrical cores are usually stronger than symmetrical cores. Going down the list, the Sublime Focus has a stronger core than the Zen. We kind of knew this at the end of the day. That was kind of expected. It is the Immersed AI core versus the Meditate AI core in the Zen 25 or the Meditate core in the OG Zen. So very good information to know there that the Sublimes are focused to be stronger than the Zen in terms of their cores. Then at the bottom of the list, we have the 900 Global Exponent. That is in that, I believe that is the Shrapnel 2.0 cover or core. So that is a very, very weak core. The Shrapnel, Lacerate, Grapnel, and Meditate Low Density. That Meditate Low Density was in the Zen U. But those are all the weakest cores on this chart. So there's a couple cores that are on here that aren't actually in production. I believe the Epoch core is not currently in production. Actually, that might be the Eternity core. That is the Eternity core. The Meditate core is not in production right now, just the Meditate AI. Otherwise, the Lacerate and the Grapnel, sorry, we don't actually have in production. But I don't know what those were on. If you guys have past 900 Global bowling balls, I'd recommend checking it out. 900 Global is fairly new. Once they got bought out or consumed by Storm Bowling, they did do a full wipe. So you're not going to see Honey Badger cores on here. You're not going to see, what were some other ones? The Flux. You're not going to see the Flux core on here at all. You're going to see just the stuff from when the bowling ball started getting produced out in Utah. So very good to know. The cores are the easy side of this. We can usually tell where the cores are. We're usually pretty accurate with this portion of it based on just our own guides. The one that's tougher is the cover stock. So let's go on to the right side of the chart with the cover stocks. What we have is all the bowling balls over on this side of the screen where we have the strongest covers to the weakest covers. Very interesting things here. Let's start off at the top though. We have Reserve Blend 902. That is on the Harsh Realities, both of them. And that is by far and away the strongest cover stock on the guide. So, by far and away, as we knew, Harsh Realities, insanely strong bowling balls. The next one is shocking. Reserve Blend 804 is actually coming in at number 2 in strength. Very surprising because we have RB93 coming next, which is on the Origin. And based on the numbering scale, I actually gotten some arguments online with people about this. Is people are saying, well, RB93 is of course going to be the strongest cover stock on the market because it's higher than 902. And I said, well, they went through a rebrand of their strength of cover stock. So we have 902, we have 804. That was their old way of determining cover stock strength. But then we get into 93. They actually got rid of the middle number. They got out of the hundreds and they're down into the teens and just 2 digits. So we have Reserve Blend 804, which is on the Sublime Focus as number 2. Then we have Reserve Blend 93, which is on the Origin, coming in 3rd. Very, very confusing at the end of the day. So 902 is greater than 804, but 804 is greater than 93. But then moving down, 901 is weaker than 93. Very confusing, but let's keep going into it. S84 Response is on here, Reserve Blend 901 is on here, and Reserve Blend 83 are on here. So a lot of them are pretty much based on the number. S84 is an older one. That is what they used in very, very much past bowling balls. You'll see S77, S84, S70. Those are around like with the original Zen, for example. Like S77, I believe, was on the OG Zen. So those are the much older bowling balls on this list, where the newer ones all have Reserve Blend. I believe the Gold Label, Zen Gold Label, was the first ball with Reserve Blend on it. I might be wrong on that. Now it's a couple of years old. But looking at the chart, very makes sense on the top of the list. Harsh Reality, strongest cover. Sublime Focus next. Origin coming after it, fairly weak cover stock. And then the Eternity Pi with a very, very weak cover stock, which fits. That Eternity Pi was always weaker than those strong ASIM solids. Coming in after, the Zen 25, it actually has a slightly stronger cover stock than the OG Zen. Now, the Zen 25 is definitely sharper than the OG Zen, and definitely a little bit later. So kind of surprising to see that. Coming in then is the Zen, and then last but not least is that old 900 Global Exponent. That is on the very bottom, not bottom, but in that Reserve Blend, I believe in the 700 range. So this is a very good chart to know. If you have older 900 Global balls too, I'd recommend checking this chart out. Go Google what the ball is. It'll show you what the cover stock and cores names are. Come back to this video and then check out where it actually fits on the chart, if it fits with where your eye sees it. Not very many interesting things here. While Rotogrip was the easiest to determine the cover stock strength, 900 Global is also very easy, apart from that weird, like, RB93 is weaker than 804. Very odd, but oh well. Otherwise, the rest of it's pretty basic, and 900 Global doesn't have a very big lineup to begin with, so you can pick the balls one by one where they fit much easier than other companies. With that, that is 900 Global's core and cover strength guide. This is a very, very useful tool. Again, I will have it in my YouTube membership program if you want to go check that out. Otherwise, we'll have it in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys use this to help you learn a little bit more about bowling. Then you don't really need to know RG differential, intermediate differential. You have this really cool guide to showcase where the bowling ball cores fit. So huge shout out to Chad McLean for actually posting this. 900 Global, please, I'm begging you, put this somewhere public, put this somewhere official, and have it updated as new bowling balls come out. Otherwise, we have no other guides after this one. The Brunswick brands do not post this kind of information. Brunswick brands, if you can, this would be super appreciative. Fairly easy to get together at the end of the day for those guys, but I would really appreciate having something like this so that we know where bowling balls fit, and then we don't have to just guess and use a ton of experience, ton of experimenting to know where they all fit. Otherwise, that is going to be it. Make sure to drop a sub if you haven't. I will see you on the next one.